I am Noraini binti Haji Sulaiman. I am the Acting Managing Director and CEO of BIBD.
Nama saya Pangeran Norajija binti Pangeran Matarsat. Tidak bekerja.
My name is Sajah Nur Ashikin binti Haji Johari, and I am the Permanent Secretary for Community and Culture at the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sports.
Hi, my name is Siti Norshida binti Haji Karya, and I'm one of the founders for NEVO Sdn Berhad.
Hi, I'm Ion Ukoy. I'm one of the co-founders for Ecoponis Garden.
My name is Aminina Shofri. I work at CIC Environmental Services as a project coordinator.
Saya Nur Hayati binti Awang Haji Muhammad. Saya adalah founder kepada Laila Mencanai Brunei.
My name is Shaima Misli, and I'm the country hub leader for Sustainable Ocean Alliance Brunei.
Nama saya ialah Dina Yahya. Saya pada masa ini memegang peranan selaku Ketua Urus Setiap Perubahan Iklim Negara Brunei Darussalam.
Hello everyone, I'm Tiffany. I'm one of the co-founders of Kaimana.
I'm Farida Talib. I'm the Brunei LNG Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer.
My name is Architect Yanti Rahman. I'm actually the Principal and Director of Ekobumi Architect.
Hello, I'm Nur Shahman binti Haji Mutasan, a clinical psychologist with the Ministry of Health and currently lead the mental health strategic team here at the Health Promotion Center.
Hi, my name is Zoe Chan. I am the Eco Representative of Growth Brunei.
Hi, my name is Linji. I'm the Country Manager of DHI Water and Environment, and I'm also the founder and president of BrewWild, a local NGO.
Hi, my name is Shanicha, and I am the co-founder of Community for Brunei.
Hello, my name is Emily Yong. I am the secretary and researcher at Reef Track Brunei.
There's this quote I like by Maya Angelou. She says that success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking how you do it.
Kejayaan bagi saya merujuk kepada terhasilnya sesuatu perubahan ke arah yang lebih positif, walaupun hanya sedikit.
Bagi saya kejayaan bagi seorang wanita ialah macam saya sebagai suri rumah tangga. Saya dapat mendidik anak-anak saya sampai berjaya, sampai mendapat keputusan yang cemerlang dalam pelajaran.
As a leader, I'm often required to make decisions. And as a female leader, I often require to make tough decisions in a generally male-dominated industry. So in my position, I define success as my ability to brave through these challenges and make an impact with the resources I have.
So in terms of leadership, I don't really differentiate it according to gender because I feel that leadership comes from personality and what resonates well with that particular individual. So as for me, leading by example and inspiring others would be something that would motivate me.
Being a female leader in 2022, it's actually a lot more accessible than, let's say, 50 years ago. So right now, what we hope with Kaimana is that when young women see Trish and I leading and setting a good example, especially on sustainability, that we will inspire other women to do the same.
Now, if I was going to capture the moment that I felt empowered in all my career over the last close to 30 years, that would be the moment when I was working in The Hague in the strategy team. In that role, I was required to travel quite a lot and lead discussions around the future role of gas and LNG, and where we could see the potential for growth for gas and LNG globally. And I found myself in a meeting in North America, leading a meeting of some 10 people, of quite senior folks, of which I was the only non-Caucasian, non-male who was leading the meeting, and everyone was looking to me and listening intently to my views, my perspectives, and my direction. And this was then a moment when I had to stop and just take a breath and just realize that this is a watershed moment for women in general, especially Asian women.
Inspired by my mentor to keep pushing forward. And I remember my mentor coming to me and say, "Hey, Emily, why don't you put this into your portfolio? Because eventually it's going to help with a career." Back then, I don't fully understand the weight of it. I don't fully understand why is it that important, but it was really just continuing my work and just continuing to do and push for the cause. It was through my tenacity and also curiosity as a researcher that pushed me to where I am right now, and being entrusted to take lead and take charge in project has become my personal goal to just keep continue in this field.
So a moment where I actually feel empowered as a female was when I joined a regional workshop in the Philippines, and I was surrounded with all these youth from all over ASEAN. And the leader, the project manager of that program, actually came up to me and said that I have potential. And I think that's when I started to believe in myself, because there's this someone who has been a great leader in her own community actually believed in me.
I think contributing to sustainability means to build systems that care for the environment. So that means setting up facilities like this one that compost organic waste. Part of the Sustainable Development Goals, number 12, is responsible consumption and production. So that part of that is responsibly caring for what we produce. So one of the things that we produce is organic waste. So setting up facilities that actually process it correctly is a really important way to incorporate sustainability into our policies.
Well, as the mental health strategic lead in Health Promotion Center, I think with mental health being included in the UN Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, as part of the Goals 3, Good Health and Well-Being in September 2015, I think as a mental health strategic lead, what I can do is to actually, I see my current position as someone that can actually push this agenda forward in Negara Brunei Darussalam, to advocate not only normalizing conversations surrounding mental health issues, but also advocate and I suppose give a voice into putting in more investments in mental health related campaigns, to prevent suicides, reduce stigma, and certainly improve treatments and accessibility to treatments. So I think that's how I can contribute as my current position.
So sustainability to me is not just about ecology, it's also about economic viability and social equity. Sustainability to me is about ensuring that my children and my grandchildren and their grandchildren will be able to thrive in all these three pillars. I want to emphasize just a little bit on social sustainability. I believe that socially sustainable communities are equitable, diverse, inclusive and connected, and provide a good quality of life. And in this respect, the work that we do at the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sports are primarily aimed towards supporting the realization of Goal 2 of Wawasan Brunei 2035, which is to have a high quality of life for its people, especially in strengthening our social security.
So Community for Brunei contributes to the Sustainable Development Goals in several ways. I think we address 3 key goals. So they are SDG 8, which is about creating more opportunities for MSMEs as well as NGOs by enabling them with a ready platform for them to operate with their businesses and their organizations online. In terms of that, we're really trying to create more work and economic growth. As well as SDG 10, so that refers to reduced inequalities. And through that, we're trying to provide a platform that allows for NGOs and other social impact projects to be able to have a voice and sort of be put on an equal playing field and allow the public and the wider community to be able to support them in whatever way is needed. And we're also focused on Sustainable Development Goal number 16, which is about peace, justice, and strong institutions. Through providing a platform that aims to unite the community and really allow for a focal point for all of the nation to be able to come together and support each other as well as various causes, especially in times of need such as the COVID pandemic.
So I think hearing people out, understanding them are all very important things. Of course, individually we have different angles, different things, different areas, which is very important to us. So for me, it's very important to listen to them, to understand what is their passion, and to perhaps help them to further that passion, and also probably to guide them as well.
People around you understand your aim, your vision. Then when we start the project, actually we don't have a planning, but very challenge in the first place. But when you gather the community understand what is your aim and what's the benefit for the project for them, and that is a success, and we can bring the new approach to them.
Cara untuk mempengaruhi mereka adalah dengan berkongsi kejayaan, berkongsi pengalaman dan berkongsi cerita-cerita yang menarik. Maksudnya tu macam dari segi kejayaan kita ni dalam sesuatu perniagaan yang kita ni cabur dia tu.
Being in corporate in the last 8 years and also most of my 20s, it is very hard for a woman to push her opinions or ideas forward because usually women don't take up much space in a meeting room. So with me, I think that what I learned is that my opinions do matter, and when I really do believe in something, I will fight and push forward to it. And it's important to surround yourself in a corporation with strong women and also men who are conscious that maybe they take too much space.
I think this is a very interesting question, but something that we need to address. Yes, as much as I like to sugarcoat things, perhaps, it is true that throughout my 18 years of career, there are times when women in workplaces face bias or barriers to one's development, and it happens. But I think one way to overcome it is through persistence. If you know you're doing this for the right niyat or nawaitu, for the right intention of bringing better good to the people in general, I think, with persistence and perseverance, that's one way to push through these biases and barriers.
Barriers or bias at work, there's mostly none, because I think even in my current workplace, our leader is a female. In my previous workplace, most of us are females as well, but unfortunately I do receive biases, or more like hesitations or doubts from my family members because I'm a female, and I understand that that's how they view the world, but I also don't allow that to take over my mind and interfere with my mission.
Halangan terbesar yang pernah saya hadapi adalah diri saya sendiri. Kerana apa? Kalau saya tidak berjaya untuk menarik diri saya, mengeluarkan diri saya dari kepompong kehidupan yang saya hadapi sekarang ini, saya tidak akan berani untuk menampilkan diri saya untuk berjaya di masa hadapan.
Gender equality to me means providing equal opportunities for all genders and having equal outcomes for them. However, I think that to achieve gender equality, there has to be equity. And with equity comes recognizing the privilege that men have due to systemic and historical disadvantages that have been placed on women for centuries. And I think to notice and realize that is the first thing that people need to do.
Successful women will always be supported by women most of the time as well. Even in my team, I have more female than male. It's not because I'm actually choosing whether male or female, but somehow female have their strength in terms of multitasking. But of course, male have their strength too. And that's the reason why I believe that the male and the female should really, really work together, because they can change so many things.
Every day I work with various female leaders in working towards biodiversity and environmental protection. In my career, I work very hard to ensure that female is well represented in the organization.
I can say my mom, because my mom is already 80 years old. And when we start the project, she's the one who's come up with the planning, with the proposal, and until now, she's the strong supporter for this project.
Ibunda saya, sewaktu saya masih kecil, motivasinya untuk membuatkan anak-anaknya berjaya dalam pelajaran, membuatkan saya menjadikan dia seorang inspirasi. Walaupun hidup susah, dia berusaha semampunya menyediakan apa yang terbaik untuk anak-anaknya.
I have to say a female who has inspired me will have to be my mother. My mother is someone, fortunately or unfortunately, did not go to school. She took care of me and my 5 brothers full-time. And she has shown all the love, all the care through her cooking, and she has gone through rough times in her life. She has remained resilient and a very strong woman. And every time I feel like giving up for whatever reason, I have looked back on her and how resilient she has been and how strong she has been, and I just cannot give up.
So when I was asked this question around, who's the female that inspired me or empowered me, and what did she mean for me, I had to dig deep, right? Because it was obviously over the years in my career, there were a number of women who have been very supportive, very enabling to myself as a female professional, as a female leader. But the one name that came to mind was someone who's actually who to me was the ultimate role model, and that would be Khadijah alayhi salam, who is the first wife of the Prophet Muhammad. She was actually a shining example of a strong, independent Muslim woman with an entrepreneurial spirit. She lived in Mecca in 556. She was born to a father who is a successful merchant in the Quraysh tribe of Mecca. And she inherited her father's skills, right? At a time when when society was male-dominated and dangerous. It wasn't safe to be a woman during that time. She knew what she was doing business-wise. She never compromised her modesty or integrity to succeed in the male-dominated trades. So as today one of the hot topics of debate, which has been a hot topic of debate for the last, I think, 30 years, was around the perceived glass ceilings for women who are pursuing their career aspirations. Don't you think it's ironic that nearly 1,500 years ago, Khadijah alayhi salam actually shattered it? So we're going backwards, we're actually not going forwards.
Harapan saya adalah bagi negara Brunei Darussalam untuk mempunyai masyarakat yang dapat menikmati alam persekitaran dan kemajuan ekonomi daripada hasil pencapaian sebuah negara yang rendah karbon dan net zero.
It would be really great to see sustainability become a key focal point, not just in terms of the public or corporations or NGOs wanting to rally, but it would be great to see from a public policy standpoint that sustainability is put at the forefront of everything, and that we do have to then consider how all of our actions are impacting the planet. So yeah, I think there's a lot of hope, and the future hopefully looks green and bright.
My wish for Brunei in moving forward as a sustainable nation is to act now and act fast. So act now because I feel that we have already moved way past the phase of awareness. So we need to look beyond just raising awareness and identifying the problems, but to really pinpoint what are the tangible actions that we can do. So be it small actions or big actions, I think everyone has a part to play in the society.
Don't let gender be your limitation. Know your strength and know what you're capable of.
You should never let anybody tell you that you are only limited to a certain thing, and don't be afraid to break the boundaries that you've been subject to.
When you get a seat at the table, make your presence known. And when you have an opportunity to make your voice heard, use it to your full advantage.
For the ladies, girls out there, if you notice for the past 5 years, masa Majlis Mesyuarat Negara, during the LegCo session, I will actually wish every single time, I never miss it for the past 5 years, to wish all ladies Happy International Women's Day.
Happy International Women's Day.
Saya mengucapkan selamat Hari Wanita Sedunia pada semua wanita-wanita Brunei Darussalam.
Happy International Women's Day.
Selamat Hari Wanita Sedunia.
Let's all work together to build a sustainable and inclusive nation.
Let's all work together to build a sustainable and inclusive nation.
Marilah kita ni bekerjasama untuk membina sebuah negara yang berdaya tahan dan inklusif.
Let's all work together to build a sustainable and inclusive nation.
Let's all work together to build a sustainable and inclusive nation.
Break the bias and let's empower each other.
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 Break the bias and let's empower each other.